Hey, good evening. Here this evening to conduct our monthly meeting of the zoning board. It's going to be a little different this evening. Uh, We are going to open our meeting of the zoning board, and then we are going to close our meeting of the zoning board, and then we are going to open the public hearing. And then we'll move through the public hearing, just so you don't get too confused when we start closing meetings and opening meetings. Okay? Very good. Ginny, would you take roll?
Tom Newhart.
Here.
Anne Marie Trost. Here. Jessica Furlano. Here. Rich Wolmuth.
Here.
And also in attendance is building inspector. I'm gonna keep my-
Nick Warner.
Nick Werner. Village planner Chris Oliveira and planning and zoning attorney Janice Gomez Anderson.
Okay. Brooks. Oh, yeah.
And Tom Brooks chairman.
Thank you. And you're here. Okay, our first order of business, as I mentioned, is going to be the public hearing. So, could I have a motion, please, to close our regular meeting and open a public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the gate and open the public hearing.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Now, do I have, fine. I guess we're all set with that, right? The first, one that we would like to hear from would be, Mobile Development Corp. If you have some things you'd like to say,
Do I present in the audience or?
you can present to the audience, that'd be fine. Yeah, that'd be great.
Evening, Monday, Danes from Costa. We're representing Mobile Development. It's a proposing a 2-lot split on Rapier Road, next to Route 9, and this is the Burger King site. The applicant went in front of the planning board for the proposed subdivision. The lots that we created meet the zoning. The issue with this, why we're here tonight, is there's a floodplain that was on proposed lot 1. And we filed a what they call a letter of map amendment with FEMA, which basically relocated the line to the northwest. So we have a certain amount of floodplain that's still on the lot. We're about 34.7% left. And the code requires 25 max. So we're here tonight to ask for a variance for the proposed lot 1 for that difference between 34.7 and 25%.
Okay. The board have any questions on this? All right. What about the public? Do we have any individuals from the public who would like to talk about this? Have a comment? Would like to say anything? No. Is the board comfortable with?
Could you just turn it around and show where the lot would be?
Okay, this is the proposed lot.
Right.
Number 1. This is the existing lot. This originally was split, but at some point, the 2 lots were in fact combined. So we're basically proposing to subdivide it again. The floodplain line is here. It originally was out further. We did a letter along. It pushed it back. The buildings and any improvements are not in the flood.
So it's all at the back of the property?
Yeah, it's basically back here. So we're proposing a 1-car garage to the rear of the home, and then obviously the home. And this is a proposed home. It's not. It's just a house that we picked that generally meets the size and character of the homes that are on that road. So to be clear, there are no improvements being proposed in the flood.
Okay,
I actually had one question. Is it, because one of the thoughts I had was a condition on it that it be not built in that area. Is there a way to draw a building envelope around that? That you could do that if they ask, I mean, this board wouldn't do it, they would ask the planning board to do it, because obviously that's the better.
Well, I mean, I don't think I don't know how exactly you want to do that, just do a setback, you're saying?
Or just do an envelope around, like a big rectangle around kind of where you're planning to build there. That keeps you out of that area.
This house would, like I said, is proposed, it may be a different home.
Right, so my fear is that somebody comes in and puts in a different home and they build in that area. That's what we would want to somehow keep you out of, somehow mark it so that it's kept. However, the planning board wants to do that.
Yeah, we can mark the floodplain when they go to build or.
Yeah, I think it's more in the planning board's purview on that issue, and I think we did talk about that at the planning board level, because you're going back next week. And I think we discussed no structure in the floodplain. It is in the
Right, so it would
code,
just be
so.
some kind of condition placed on the variance that that go back to the planning board for them to comply, and the planning board, lay it out.
Which will need, we have to do it.
Right.
thank you. Any further comments from the board? Any further comments from, our guests? No, okay. Are we comfortable in, voting on that?
Mr. Chairman, you'll need a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion, have it close the public hearing.
Okay. And,
I'll second the motion.
very good. Can I reopen the regular meeting then? All right. Are you set to take a vote on it?
Talk about, just to make a record, I have a draft.
Yes. Would you like to read that?
Yeah, it's a little long, but I think just to get it in, you don't have to take the minutes verbatim. I'll give you a copy tomorrow that you can put in the record.
Oh, sure.
Okay, very good.
Okay. Whereas Mobile Development Corporation, the applicant has applied to the Village of Fishkill Zoning Board of Appeals for relief from section 171-25 of the village zoning law in connection with the proposed subdivision of the parcel identified on the village fiscal map as parcel number 6155-20-87-8017. Whereas the subdivision application involves the creation of a new building lot and the development of a single family residence with a detached 2-car garage. Whereas the application requires a variance from section 171-25 of the village zoning law to allow more than 25% of the minimum area requirement of a lot to be fulfilled by land which is underwater or subject to periodic flooding. Whereas the site has 35.7% located within the floodplain, requiring a 12.7% variance. Whereas proposed action is type 2 action with regard to secret and requires no further environmental review. Whereas on April 10th, 2025, the Village of Fishkill Zoning Board of Appeals held a public hearing to elicit public input related to the proposed action, during which all those who wish to speak would be heard. And whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals has reviewed and given due consideration to the application materials and all other information submitted by the applicant and to the comments and information provided by the public, and has referred same to the village planning consultant for their review. Now therefore be it resolved, the Zoning Board of Appeals makes the following findings pursuant to 7-712-B of the New York State Village Law and 171-148 of the Village of Fishkill Zoning Law. The variance will not produce an undesirable change in the community. The proposed subdivision will utilize the new lot in a manner consistent with the use of surrounding lots, single-family residential. Further, the proposed development will assimilate into the existing character of this neighborhood pursuant to section 171-83-C. The benefits sought by the applicant cannot be achieved by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance. The impact of the requested variance is not substantial. The applicant demonstrated there's been no recent history of flooding on the property and that all the proposed developments on the new lot will lie outside of the floodplain. The requested variance will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. The proposed lot will be developed in a manner that is consistent with the general character of the district within which it is located. The hardship is self-created, but that's not a reason that you can't vote for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then do you want to place a condition on the variance that basically obviously they have to go back to it, but the condition being that the planning board, they go back to the planning board and an area where it can be built is laid out on the site plan. Does that seem
A condition for the house or the two-car garage,
For any structure that,
any structure.
right, and it would basically be consistent with what's already required by the law. Is that right? So
Yes.
So just basically you get the idea being that, and it's up to you all, the idea being that the reason there's this laws in place for a reason, you're giving a variance from it. So the idea is that you're still keeping it within that, or you can just leave it up to the planning board. You guys know your planning board and they're probably gonna do it anyway, so it's up to you all. Whether you want the condition.
Sure, we could put the condition
Okay.
down, that wouldn't.
So
hurt
condition
anything.
on planning board designating areas where on the site plan. And following any, how about this? Condition on following any designations by the planning board on the site plan. As to where structures can be built.
That's great.
Okay. The further resolved zoning board of appeals Village of Fishkill hereby grants the requested variance. And so therefore, we would need a motion to adopt this resolution.
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we accept the document.
I second the motion.
Oh,
Yes.
local or I or me.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, motion passed. Thank you.
And I'll type that up tomorrow, James. Since
Thank you.
See you next week.
Very much.
Thanks,
I'm gonna
guys.
move this, you don't need this, I'll put it over there.
I don't believe we need it.
Oh, I can take
Oh, no,
that.
sir. Oh, you want-
You wanna grab it?
Right,
Just throw it over there for now, yeah.
Thanks.
Did it.
Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Okay, could I have a motion now to reopen the public hearing?
Make a motion to reopen the public hearing.
You. We are going to go to our second item for our public hearing, and that's Liscatos Tattoo, 1127 Main Street. And they're seeking an area variance.
I'm going to be recusing myself.
Okay, Jessica.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Ms. Brella Sakatis, I'm seeking a variance for the 1,000-foot needed rule to open up another shop. Kind of went over this a couple weeks ago with everything, but if anybody has any questions on anything, right now I'm at the 924 foot mark. We were just shy about 76 feet, so we're just looking for a variance on that. It's kind of subjective how you walk it via the sidewalk. It's 924 one way, it's 1,024 the other way. If you do shoot via Google Maps from one building to the other, I think it's 806 feet is the exact. So whichever way you want to take, it could be up to 200 feet, but we're searching the variance for that to open up said shop.
Okay,
Basically it. Yes, sir. Do you guys need anything else from me on that? Questions?
I don't believe so. Do we have any questions there?
Well, where is the measurement from exactly? From door to door, or how do we measure it?
So the code says lot to lot, or
Lot line to lot line?
it says lot to lot. It doesn't say lot line to lot line. The code says lot to lot. These measurements can be taken a number of different ways. The shortest point comes out to about 770 feet. Mr. Liscatos measured it to be 925, the walking line. So there is a varying number here, but it is less than 1,000. So that is the interpretation. It is up to you all to decide on the number to determine how you want to proceed with the variance. It is, our interpretation is it is less than 1,000 feet. That is what the building department has determined, and that is why it is in front of you.
Well, do you know how much?
How much less than 1,000 feet?
Or is that open to interpretation?
It's open to interpretation. My interpretation of the code is it is less than 1,000 feet.
How do you interpret that it should be measured?
How do I interpret it should be measured? Lot to lot if we go with the furthest, point, it's 230 feet. To give them the, benefit of the doubt.
That would be actually, that would be the largest distance.
This distance, correct.
I don't know if I could add in there, from door to door, it's 924 feet walking the shortest end of the sidewalk. It's 1,024 from the farthest. If you do go lot to lot, it's 780 something change, 780. If you're cutting through everything, not walking distance from straight line to straight line.
From door to door, it was 9.
From door to door, it's 924 feet.
So how do we interpret it? If you supposedly give them the variance or deny the variance, either way, what do you interpret the measurement to be? Is that up to us?
Well,
Because in the first instance, it should come from the building department.
and so what we've determined is the following. He's less than 1,000 feet, so therefore he has to come before you. And we will make the determination now to make it simpler for everyone, that lot to lot means lot to lot, and it's done, his distance is 770 feet from the other establishment. So that's the clearest and cleanest,
770.
770. That's the cleanest and clearest distance. Because it does say from lot, so.
And there's no issue with the school being there close by, there's no.
He does not have a 200-foot, issue with the school being behind him, no.
And there's,
We have here, just so, you know, we got them. There are two letters that we received, from
Yeah, I don't think.
Chief Zara. We received one. And, Anthony Massolino, we received the other. So we have these two letters that have been distributed to the members of the board.
Sure.
Okay?
Clarify that.
Do I have anyone from the audience that wishes to make any comments? Yes,
Just
sir.
1 second, I'm sorry. I just want to clarify one point. The school is not a prohibited distance. It's a residential district. Is a prohibited, distance of 200 feet, just to clarify that point. But the school does sit in a residential district, just so we're clear. So we don't have just so we're on the same page, but the school is not a disqualifier, just so we're clear on that.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Could you state your name, please?
My name's James, and, I'm gonna have to tee, obviously, we're not, obviously, you can see. I can lift up and show you if you want, but I just wanted to say that he's the only one around here that's handicap accessible. So whenever, like, we go out in a wheelchair, I don't think you know how much of a pain in the neck it is to try to go upstairs, or to have someone drop you, or fall, or to be embarrassed in front of people, and you try to get somewhere. This is kind of like, you lose your leg, this is kind of like how you express yourself, you know, we have a lot of people that like to go somewhere we can get to. And he's basically the only person that we can get to around handicap accessible.
Okay.
That's all. Can't get to anywhere else, it's like, that's all.
Anyone else care to comment?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
No, you can go.
Irina Dominido, actually own the building. I own 4 buildings in the village of Fishkill.
Yes.
Medical size mine, the buildings, and then a couple of others there. I just really wanna, like, for what, the gentleman said is, I think being a handicap accessible is very important. I also know Brett and his family, and I can speak more highly of them. It's a very high-end tattoo parlor. It's not like, the regular place where you go. So I really feel that it's also going to be a great compliment to the business that I have right next door. I did have other candidates and some of them even for a higher rent. I really want to stick with this candidate because I really feel that it's a great business. It's already been in business for a long time and now it's just looking to expand. And the fact that we can actually accommodate disabled people too, I think that would be really good for us. And it's really unfair that the code you guys have, it's so unclear. And now, he spent all this time and money trying to, get this place because he knows it's going to be great for his business and bring value to the village, and we can't really decide. So we're really hopeful that maybe you make the right choice. So, thank you.
Thank you. Keith?
No, I'm Anthony.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're Anthony.
That's okay.
You might want to let the applicant sit down.
Yeah, they say you want me.
Oh, yeah, you can sit down, that's
Appreciate
fine.
it.
How you guys doing? Everyone's having a good day. So I preside at 1064 Main Street. I was here just under 2 years ago. I worked with a lot of you guys to change the laws originally where there was prohibition on tattooing. I just want to touch real quick in terms of handicap accessible. No, unfortunately, we are not handicap accessible, but there are about 5 to maybe potentially 8 tattoo shops within less than 5 miles of here that are handicap accessible. So I just want to let that be known. There's not every other tattoo shop on the planet is not handicap accessible. But
You're handing.
we are not, unfortunately.
Oh, you're not?
No, we are not.
All right, thank
But I just wanted to say this real quick to you guys. I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time to read the literature that we had sent to you. As evidence in the material, I do not wish any ill will on any other small business owner. I wish nothing but mutual success for all of our small business owners. With that being said, it was less than 2 years ago that the village boards and I underwent an intensive process to amend the laws to allow me to open my business here. I'm extremely appreciative of those boards and their consideration in matters of creating new laws that and the promise that they offered my business to be successful here. I have faith in those laws and I have faith in the lawmakers that took the time and energy to thoroughly implement them. It is my hope that the board will uphold these laws and not issue a variance that would challenge what was so recently and meaningful enacted. And I guess I'll just ask you guys if maybe you have any questions for either of us while we're both in the same room together. Any questions about, tattoo parlors or just anything in general.
Anyhow.
And one more question. The 770 that I provided to you guys is off of Dutch County parcel access, which is, I don't know if Mr. Lascatos had sent any literature in regarding the 924 feet door to door, if that's actually the actual distance or not. I don't know if there's any verbiage on that, but I looked on Dutch County parcel access and Google and both presented at 770 lot to lot. And as the law states, as you said, mentioned earlier, it is no tattoo parlor shall operate on any lot which is within 1,000 feet of another lot containing tattoo parlor. So, but that's it. Unless you have any questions.
Okay. Dorian?
You can wait till whenever. You can wait till the end if you have,
Okay,
when you're making your determinations.
very good. Do we have any other,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm Patrick Barrett. I'm a client of Brett. Happy to be here to support him. Listening to that statement, I would also like to add that just because, a company helped pass or change laws doesn't give them the opportunity to have a monopoly of those change laws. I think Brett offers a very different service than I've experienced getting tattoos over my entire life. I think it's a level of sophistication, art, and basic just feel that I have not been able to experience from other tattoo shops. I hold a pretty high level position at my job, and Brett offers a pretty safe, intimate environment where you can get quality work done without a lot of the culture issues that I've experienced with tattoo parlors in the past, so.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else?
Just make one more follow-up comment. What's your name, sir?
I'm Anthony.
Nice to meet you, Anthony. I know Anthony is probably worried that another similar business coming to town might, affect his clientele, but I'm also going to tell you, I own a medical spa. There is like a spa in every corner. My business is thriving because I am just focused on doing my business and providing a great service to my clients. I do believe very much so that competition is very good. So it is because, another tattoo parlor is coming, from what I understand, a little bit different levels of services that they provide. I think if anything, probably it's going to be good for both businesses, doing all together. I think that's the point.
Thank you. Anything else? Nope.
No.
All right. Close the public hearing. Okay, can I have a motion, please, to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second?
Second motion to close.
Okay. We will return then to our regular meeting. Any more discussion? I would just like to point out, I don't have all of the details. I don't know whether anyone does, but I do believe as part of, just so that we're being honest about, not honest, but being straightforward about this, that you came to us for a variance.
Yes.
I believe that was a variance for the distance between a tattoo parlor and a residential area,
Yes.
if my memory serves me correctly. And that was in the law as 200 feet, I believe.
The 200-foot
200-foot
regulation, yes.
regulation. That's what that was. We did, as you well know, grant you that variance.
Right.
All right, and you're just exactly as we hoped. Your business has taken off. Your business is doing very well. But I think, and being open and clear about it, that I just thought that I should mention it.
Did you receive the packet that I had sent in or no?
Yes,
Oh, you did, okay.
yes. There you go.
And that's been shared with all members of the board, correct?
Yes.
You guys have a discussion of which way you think we were.
What do you think?
Well, are we gonna make a motion and vote on it tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other discussion between us that should go on before we make the motion and vote?
Richard, anything?
I think I'm okay. Thank you.
All right, we're clear on the distance then, 230 feet?
Yeah, that's what, I think that's the safest way. This is sort of interesting because once the businesses change, it's in either location. You can always have a tattoo parlor, not a location, I guess. With the variance. Then the other piece, just for the record, is I wanted to point out, I looked back at the original law, or the most recent iteration of the law that tattoo. The board doesn't talk about, the village board didn't talk about, and specifically why it chose 1,000 which is kind of typical of local laws. But also, I mean, you're focused now on competition. It's about the character, So, all right. So this is the draft, and you can. Some of them.
And then we can vote on it.
That would probably help. Whereas Brett Lizicatos, the applicant, has applied to the Village of Fishkill Zoning Board of Appeals for relief from 171-62 1B2 of the Village Zoning Law in connection with the proposed tattoo studio to be located at 1127 Main Street on the parcel identified on the Village of Fishkill tax map as parcel number 6155088139887. the project or proposed action. And whereas the proposed action requires a variance from 171-62(1)(b)(2) of the village zoning law to allow a proposed tattoo parlor to be located less than 1,000 feet from any lot containing a tattoo parlor. Whereas the proposed action would be located 770 feet from a lot containing an existing tattoo parlor, requiring a variance of 230 feet. Whereas proposed action is a type 2 action with regard to secret and requires no further environmental review. And whereas in April 10, 2025, the Village of Fishkill Zoning Board of Appeals held a public hearing to elicit public input related to proposed action, during which all those who wish to speak would be heard. And whereas the ZBA also received written comment, which has been made part of the record. Whereas the application was referred to Dutchess County Department of Planning and Development in accordance with 239M of the General Municipal Law. And said this department responded to the referral by way of its correspondence dated March 2025, and determined the proposed action as a matter of local concern and recommended that the board rely upon its own study of the facts and make a decision. And whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals has reviewed and given due consideration to the application materials and all other information submitted by the applicant, and that the comments and information provided by the public has referred the same to the village's planning consultant for their review. Now therefore be it resolved that the Zoning Board of Appeals makes the following findings pursuant to 7-712B of the New York State Village Law and 171-148 of the Village of Fishkill zoning law. The variances will not produce an undesirable change in the community. The project will operate by appointment only. Foot traffic created by the proposed use will be minor and limited to scheduled clients only. Benefits sought by the applicant cannot be achieved by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than an area variance. The impact of the requested variance is not substantial. The requested variance will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical and environmental conditions in the general neighborhood or district. The occupancy of the tenant space at 1127 Main Street does not require any external changes to the site. The use is located within a commercial zoning district and will operate as an appointment-only business, limiting the number of clients using the facility to help maintain the character of the district. The hardship is self-created. Be further resolved, the Zoning Board of Appeals of Village of Fishkill hereby grants the requested variance.
Well, I make a motion that we grant the variance for Liscatas Tattoo 1127 Main Street as read into the record.
Do I have a second?
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Okay,
Passes.
passes. Okay. Very good. At this particular time, I'd entertain a motion to close the meeting.
Motion to close the meeting.
Second.
Okay. Meeting is closed. Thank you all for attending. It's appreciated.